and we're discussing in general the principle of makif. And we're saying that the makif, there are two madrigas. It's called makif elyon, makif tachton, and it's called hiru ilo and hiru tator. What hiru means purity. And the reason that makif is identified with the term purity is that makif is a direct presentation of the etzem itself. Makif does not get retranslated in order to bring its effect on the world. It is the presence of the etzem that is begilui, and that makes the makif. This gilui is the gilui of the etzem itself. This is why it's called tehiro, purity. This purity itself also can be identified at two levels. What's called tehiro ilo and tehiro tator. Tehiro ilo is the way it is. The tehiro is in the etzem, within the etzem itself. This principle within the etzem itself is similar to the concept of oir hashemesh b'shemesh, the sunlight as it is contained within the sun itself. Sunlight within the sun itself doesn't serve any purpose because the sun itself is there. So we're saying that the sun itself is there, and this sun includes the light that ultimately ventures out when the sun comes begilui. In other words, within the sun itself, there is the capability, the principle that the sun is the sun, and it's also capable to illuminate the area around itself. This capability to illuminate the area around itself, this is called oir hashemesh b'shemesh. And it's called oir. This is something which requires lengthy discussion. It's called oir. Oir means a light, although it is the shemesh itself. So this is, we'll have to put it on the shelf for a moment. And this is what we're saying, that the makif, the way the makif means that which encompasses and surrounds and embraces entire existence. And you learned quite a while ago that the principle of makif exists even before there is anything to embrace. There's no external existence. Principle of makif is that even while it is inside the etzem, there is the makif element, that it is that the etzem has the will and the interest and the desire to embrace and to give support to a creation. So this is why we're saying that this makif, which is representative of the etzem, has two madrigas. The high madriga is as it is part and parcel within the etzem, and the low madriga is as it is revealed outside of the etzem. Then the Rebbe goes on to say that this relation outside the etzem, this is something which actually affects, embraces the entire creation. So that the entire creation is really oriented towards this encompassment, this embrace. Just as in our moshel, that when you're inside a house, even though you do all kinds of different things, such as eating and sleeping and talking and writing and learning, whatever it may be, and even pardon me, in bathroom. And in all instances, you're oriented to the fact that all of this is happening within your own home. So that the makif encompasses everything equally. Even the most practical and the furthest, the lowest aspect of activity. So even though the makif embraces and provides support and meaning to everything, the things themselves are not conscious of this makif. The things themselves are conscious only of themselves. This is why that even though there's a makif in the creation itself is aware only of itself. It's not aware of its bitul and its relationship to this oyer, to the oyer makif. Even to the extent, as we all know, that it's possible for the creation to deviate and to find other interests and a different kind of a path in life, completely different than the one that is intended for it from the Creator. Because this knowledge of the creation, knowing the creation, is behelem, it's called. It's completely not sensed by the creation itself. This is a principle that we're learning right now.
Namely, the way that Helem is not sensed by the creation.
Not Helem. That the gilui of the makif is not sensed by the creation.
The gilui of the makif? Okay.
The creation, to the creation it's behelem. In the creation itself it's behelem.
Yeah.
This is discussed here in various facets. So let's start going back inside. We will start 4 lines from the top on Kuf Nun Dalet. The line starts with what b'nibroi. This is the conclusion, the last word of the phrase that says that this knowledge of that Odom Kadmon, the Machshava Aduma Diak, is not sensed by the creation in the Nibroi. Okay, in the middle of that line. And as we write elsewhere, being an idea of Bechir, in discussing the principle of idea or Bechir. Idea means knowledge, of knowing something ahead of it happening. Or Bechira, and then the resultant action that is called a Bechira, an action by choice. So it's explained. That the superior idea, knowledge the way it is above. That is known in Odom Kadmon. Odom Kadmon means in the original Odom element, the Odom aspect that encompasses the entire creation. Even though, so in this knowledge, everything is in the entire creation, in all the worlds, is known there. So you would think, since it's known there, therefore, between the creation itself, there is no variations, there's no choice. The creation itself is not conscious, so to speak, of any of its own decisions. It's already preordained. So we say no. That the idea is no machrachas habechira, does not compel the bechira, the choice. The idea that fact that it is known from above how things are going to be done does not compel that when it comes down to the level of doing it, that it should be done in a certain way. The Hagam, which means to say that although that he knows all the actions, all the dealing of men, Panogoisov and his conduct and his actions, before he does them, all that is pre-known at the creator's level. Yet still, the person himself, is not compelled due to this knowledge that doesn't compel his actions. It's one of the most difficult in Torah. And therefore, when a person acts, he acts by his choice. B'koyach atzmoi. B'chirosei means by his choice. B'koyach atzmoi, and the choice is his own choice. It is the choice of his own recognition. Koyach, his own koyach. This is what directs him how to choose. The choice itself is created by him, by himself, rather than fulfilling that which has been preordained for him. So this is a kind of a difficult, it's a contradictory statement. If it is known, this is, I mentioned already the other day, that this is Rambam himself discusses it quite clearly. Yet it is known but not preordained. Known means he knows how the choice is going to be, but it's not preordained that this is how, that this compels a person to go on and choose it this way. When it comes to choosing, it is a totally open choice, a choice that is initiated by the person. How do we understand these two things? So the way we explain this, what the Rebbe is going to explain now. Bezehu, everybody has a place, this is 6 times from that time. Bezehu, and that is, how do we explain this principle? Clearly a contradictory statement. Lefi, due to the fact, shehayidiyo muvdeles be'erech legamri. Because the knowledge is muvdeles, is distinct, is separated. Separated be'erech. Be'erech means in proximity. It is in a different level of knowledge than where this thing occurs. We'll discuss it a little bit in a moment. She'eino murgeshes klal beho'od, which means that this yidio is not sensed in the person at all. The person is totally unaware that he is known at that level. The hagam she'yodea. Oh no, I'm sorry, I skipped like Al Kain, for this reason. Eino machrachas es abchira. For this reason, this idea, this knowledge, Eino machrachas does not compel as abchira the choice, how he's going to choose. The choice is initiated by the person completely. The fact that it's pre-known has no effect at all. And the explanation for this is that the idea is muvdeles be'erech legamri. Muvdeles be'erech. Be'erech means, be'erech means proximity. Proximity means that which occurs within the same realm, with the same level, or in a different level. To to give us a sense, some kind of a tangible understanding of this Muvdelas be'erech. A person walks, he walks with his feet. The feet are shalei be'erech to the mind and to the heart. The feet do not understand why is the person walking in this direction. So in terms of the decision where to walk, the feet are not a participant in that decision at all. The mind is, the heart is, and the feet are not. Yet, we do not say that the feet act robotically. It is true they're not a participant in the decision. But when the feet walk, they sense that this is what the person wants to do. In other words, there is a fundamental reality to this walk. The person does not walk robotically. The whole person lives this step. And the Rotzen and Oinag and Seichel of a person are reflected in this walking. Now let's transfer this walking action to something which is external to the person. The shoes that the person is wearing. The shoes are walking along with the feet. The feet are actually feeling the contour of the ground and adjust to it. Along with them, the shoes also are suffering along with the feet. But we say that shoes are experiencing walking the same way as the feet do. They may be participating in the act itself, but they're not participant in the significance of this act at all. It means nothing to the shoes at all. Because the shoes are sholei be'erech. There's no, they don't have the same presence, same reality as the feet or as the head. The feet are part of the same reality as the head, a much lower level. The shoes are not at all. The shoes are not at all in that proximity. This is what sholei be'erech. This is a mashal to the union of idea that is sholei be'erech. Similarly, if he should translate this presentation on the topic of the discussion, the Rebbe's knowledge of the actions of men. The Rebbe gives chayes to the entire world. And the entire world, the chayes in the world, the very existence world, represents the Rebbe's koiches, the Rebbe's will and the Rebbe's thoughts and so forth. This will and this chokhmah and so forth originate ultimately in the highest levels in God Himself. Because we presented the mashal, even as the walking in a person originates in the person's intellect and emotion and life force. The creation of the world is a divine creation. He brought it about he brought into existence. However, the creation relative to the creator, the highest in the creation relative to the creator, is like the shoes relative to the mind of a person.
The shoe?
Like the shoe, not like the feet?
No, not like that.
The shoe.
He gives it highest, but it shouldn't be erech. It's in a different realm. This is world and this is God.
This is what?
World.
World, and this is Yad. Okay.
What happens if the feet get hurt? That's for sure. The highest that's in the nefesh, in the head and in the heart, cure the feet. One of these shoes get hurt.
That's it. That's it. You
Resolved.
take them to a shoemaker. That's all.
Will the shoes become cured by the feet?
No, they're done for.
Thank you. Oh, one teacher, you help me. Thank you.
It's
No big impression.
Okay,
You have to resole them.
new souls.
okay. It's obvious. I'm just the feet. Yes, the shoe. The foot fits into the shoe, and it's very useful. But they united, but not united at the level at the highest level. You take a torn pair of shoes and put them on your foot; they stay torn. They're not going to cure. They're not going to heal because they're on the foot. Why? Because it's called shalei be'erech. They're not in the same proximity. The foot is a living entity. The shoe is a not living entity. It fits and so forth, but it's not at that level. God creates the world. Absolutely. But the world is a creation at a much lower level, it's on a worldly level. And it's not on a godly level. Therefore, the world is not aware of the fact that it is a godly creation. Even as the shoe is not conscious that this is made for the foot. It's an amazing thing. How can the difference is the shoe is like not created by the foot, but the world is created by God. So how can it be that the world is created by God and it is totally not, there's no awareness and no transmission at all in the world of the fact of its origin, of the highest where it comes from, of what it represents. This is the effect of tzimtzum.
It's Elohim.
Huh?
This is Elohim.
This is the
According
effect of
to the
tzimtzum. The divine element is so concealed to the extent that the world really appears to be exclusively worldly. The godly element, the highest, is completely withdrawn from it. It becomes purely world. This is what I'm explaining. It's very difficult for us to understand. As we learn in Tanya now, that the tzimtzum element is as miraculous as the creation itself. This brings us, so to speak, face to face with the question of Yediyah or Bechira. Does a human being have a choice in his actions, or does he not have a choice in his actions? Now, please understand the choice in his actions. We're talking about choice on the most fundamental level. Should I drink this cup now or should I not drink? That's a choice. But does a human being have a choice whether or not he should drink or not? If he doesn't drink, he's not going to live. There's a compelling element internally that compels him to drink. So when we talk about choice, we talk about choice on the most fundamental level. That he actually can avoid this whole thing. Yidiyah b'chira means a person is totally not affected, not compelled to choose in his life one way or another. A human being, if he so wishes, he can act like a dog. And lose completely his human spirit. Give it up. Nothing compelling him, human being, to live like a human being. If he can live like a human being, it's because he so chooses. Because he appreciates that this is the type of life that he wants to live. This is why we say that the person, his actions are in his choice, and his choice. This is why there's a whole principle of reward and punishment. If this was preordained completely, so then there was no reward and punishment doesn't fit. And here's the question. But did the Rebbe know how he's going to choose or not? The answer is, of course, he knew. Rebbe knows everything. Like it says, he knows everything, not what's going to happen tomorrow. What's going to happen throughout the entire Seder of the creation of all the various decades and all the various evils. All the thousands and tens of thousands of years. All of that is known to him. So how do you say that this is a choice? The answer is that this knowledge is at such a higher level, it's in a different realm of proximity, it doesn't affect the Metzius of the world. So the human being is still acting according to his own choice. And that's why he gets reward and he gets punishment. Okay, let's continue. The line begins with the word Eina Machrachas Abchira, the line just above the little Kufiyat Gil on the sun. Eina Machrachas Abchira, the idea, the supreme idea of the Mebishim, Eina Machrachas does not compel the Bechira that the human being is going to choose. Now the Rebbe introduces another aspect in the same vein. The Kshem She'idiosi is Borech. That just as, this is something totally novel, let's pay attention. Just as, Idiosi is Borech, that Hashem's knowledge, Eino Machrachas Inyan HaYizhavos, does not compel the whole principle of creation. What's this about? It means the following. V'hagam, for although, She'idea Kol HaYizhavos, Kedem Shenizhavos, even though he knows the entire creation before it came to be. He knows exactly what the creation is and what it contains and how it's going to be. And yet, yet still, this does not compel the creation. The fact that the Rebbe knows the creation does not it automatically result in the creation. The creation itself is a separate decision of Rebbe to create. And as long As he did not make that decision, he does not say be, he doesn't come to be, even though he knows, he has in his knowledge, in his mind, the creation. And this knowledge of the creation, this is something which we have to reflect and put in, make some sense. This knowledge, and the Rebbe knows of the creation, is not like someone who knows something that is totally separate from yourself. Like Reuven knows Shimon. Reuven knowing Shimon has no effect on Shimon. They're two separate worlds. So the fact Reuven knows Shimon clearly is not going to compel Shimon in any particular activity. When you say the Rebbe knows, it's a different kind of, the Rebbe knows it's a different kind of knowledge. The Rebbe knows means that he knows firsthand, from inside, as an insider. Does not know from outside, from a distance. He knows it as an insider. Even though he knows it as an insider, that knowledge does not compel the thing that he knows.